What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about the Zero to Hero series and how I've been doing it. I've been gearing up characters, what I do in what order, and hopefully this will be an educational video to help you guys out in your gearing process if you're leveling up an alt for the next patch, or maybe if this is your first character in Shadowlands. Just as a reminder that any week auras or profiles can be found on my stream. You guys can swing by there Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. I'll be on at twitch.tv/NoxPlaysGames. Let's get into it. So we are on my Demon Hunter here, and this is applicable to any character. This is not Havoc specific or anything like that. I've just really been enjoying it, and we reached 206 item level in about a week or so, so this is what we got going on. The first step 0, I guess, is hit 60 and do the initial quest to unlock legendaries. That one is the Rescue Bane from Torghast quest line, and then you have to free the Rune Carver so he's not chained up as much, so he can actually make you some gear. All this does is unlock your ability to get legendaries from sources. Now, I don't know if this is 100% true or not. I've just noticed that if you don't do that quest line, there's 0 legendary pieces that drop from any mythic dungeon. They still drop from the world bosses because it's guaranteed, but any mythic dungeon, the drop rate is basically 0. I did many keys on this character before doing that quest line. Nothing dropped. As soon as I finished the quest line, they all dropped first try. So take that with a grain of salt. Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe I'm just tinfoil hatting, but there's no reason not to do the quest line first. So just do the quest line. It's super easy. And then step 1, even if you're in 130 item level gear, do a Mythic 0 World Tour. Make your own group if you have to, but jump in, do Mythic Zeros. Tank them if you haven't tanked them before, heal them if you haven't healed them before. They are not very difficult content. They are totally accessible, and most of the time, higher item level players want to do them anyway for a chance at trinkets or weapons or whatever have you from specific instances. Just jump around, do all 8 in a row, blast them through with as much playtime as you have, and then move on to the next step. Buy any pieces off the auction house to fill in the gaps, or alternatively, you could throw on you could throw on some battlegrounds and just like start honor farming to fill in the gaps there. So if I wanted to fill in some pieces here on my Demon Hunter, I would just scroll down, and all of these blue items, like these are 151 and 168. Like, these are relatively cheap. Like, the 151 items are super cheap. Like, you know, 75 gold for some arm pieces. Like, you know, this is only 2k, 3k for a few pieces of 168 gear. There's a couple things here that are, you know, a lot more expensive for 176. This isn't worth it, not even close. But these 184 boots for 300 gold, like, definitely. I think I actually bought the boots that I'm currently wearing off the auction house at 190 item level. So all of these are like relatively inexpensive, and this lets you like save a bunch of time by like making sure that your character's geared out a little bit so you can get into step 3 a lot easier. And again, alternatively, you could just farm honor, jump in some battlegrounds, farm up some honor that way, get a few pieces there. Step 3 is the 2 to 6 key range. So you're in Mythic Plus, you're doing +2 keys to +6 keys. You're just spamming them over and over again. You can use your own key, or alternatively, you could jump into normal Castle Nathria. Now, where does LFR fit in? Someone might ask. It doesn't. LFR is a waste of time. LFR like isn't hard, but if you look, the item level from LFR is let me see here, is 187. So it's only 3 item levels higher than Mythic 0, and it takes way longer. Like, it takes way longer to sit in queue and wait. It's not worth it. I do LFR once on each character, and I do it for the specific legendaries. So I did the wing with Shriekwing, Sludge Fist, and Stone Legion to get the Collective Anguish, and then I did Sire Denathrius to get the Chaos Theory. If I was the tank, and I wanted, say, I think it's Darkbane that drops it. If for whatever reason you wanted a legendary off of any of the other wings, you go and you just for that one, you get a legendary and you get out. You might want to stay in for the extra renown and stuff, but there's no reason to farm LFR for gear. It's way more efficient to just jump into a key and get something that's upgradable than to deal with these basically trash gear that you're going to get rid of really, really quickly. Moving on. So you're in step 3, you're farming 2 to 6 keys, or you're doing normal Castle Nathria. Now, like if you can put together an alt run with your guild, or like have a couple of buddies together, or if you're willing to tank or heal something, then normal Nathria is definitely worth your time. It drops 200 item level pieces. It's a good quick way to gear up and help you push yourself into the next stage. But again, keys are where you want to be because of the Valor system. So what I would recommend is staying in keys, kind of avoiding Castle Nathria altogether until you're at step 4, because then you can jump into Heroic and get some like choice pieces and some good trinkets and stuff. So step 4, you're around 200 item level. So you've done your +2 to +6 keys, you've blasted those out a lot. Maybe you've gotten a weapon, maybe you've gotten a few trinkets, like you've filled in most of your pieces of gear. Everything is epic at this point with the exception of your legendary. At this point, I would craft my legendary. I would craft my legendary in between steps 3 and steps 4. I would maybe craft it early step 3 if you get it right off the bat. So, you know, Dark Glare is something that just came from Mythic Plus. I crafted it pretty early on. It was a big boost to the DPS and it made those keys much, much easier. Craft your legendary somewhere in here. Only craft your best in slot 1. So, like, there's no reason just to craft any legendary. You have access to all the content in the game now, and you have access to all the legendaries in the game now. Unless your absolute best one comes from a world boss that's like a month away, there's not really a reason to wait. So now you're in step 4. You're 200 plus item level. You're in a +7 key to +15 keys. Maybe you're even higher than that. This is where I would jump in and maybe try to pug Heroic Castle Nathria for specific items if they're big upgrades for you. So for me, as a Havoc Demon Hunter, I'm really looking for Hateful Chain off of Sludge Fist. That's a really strong trinket for me. I'm not sure if it's stronger than a bottled Flayed Wing Toxin, but we will see. I know that a lot of the top Demon Hunters are using that, so that might be a choice item for me. If you're playing a mage and you really want Soul Igniter, Heroic Sun King Salvation is not that hard of a boss. Most pugs kill it on a regular basis. If you aren't sure how to kill the boss, or if you've never stepped foot in Heroic Castle Nathria, then either 1, go with your guild, ask and learn, 2, watch some videos. Fat Boss has some guides, there's Limit has some guides, there's a lot of Ready Check Pull has some really great guides that show the bosses and make them really easy to understand and really easy to break down. There's some weak auras that make the bosses a lot easier. I encourage you to get in and try it. Don't be afraid of the content. If you screw up, you screw up. Oh well, you can always try again. Nothing happens. And then some tips. So I would only spend Valor on best in slot pieces. So an example is this sword. I picked this up early on. This is a really good sword because of the extra damage proc. And how do I know that it's best in slot? Well, I use raid bots. So if I open this up here for you guys so you can see it, this is called Droptimizer. So I threw in my simulation craft information into raid bots here. I threw in Droptimizer and I set it to, here, let me see real quick. I set it to 120 item level. So I basically made it seem like it's like, okay, cool. What would be best in slot if it was only 220 item level? Because that's all you can upgrade it to with Valor, right? So, okay, if I pick up these gloves of Haunting Fixation, I know they're best in slot because they're like the highest damage increase that I can get on my character right now. So if I find a pair of those while I'm spamming these keys, I'm going to keep that pair and I'm only going to spend Valor on those gloves. I'm not going to spend them on these gloves over here. I'm going to wait and spend them on the choice items. So another example is the Vial of Putrefaction. So these are highly sought after trinkets for a bunch of classes. I would, if you get one, even if it's a low item level, dump your Valor into it. They're super, super valuable. Weapons are the same way, depending on the stats. And don't waste your Valor, so to speak, upgrading something like a ring or like a pair of boots that isn't best in slot. I would wait, do the choice items first, and then you can fill in the gaps later. And then the other thing is be the Chad. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like, be the guy that's doing well in the instances. Like, be the guy that's interrupting, be the guy that's stunning. If you're playing a Boomkin, and even if you're under geared, like, take treants and have them tank for your, like, help out your tank during some affixes, especially if it's necrotic or even grievous, right? Like, be the person that's silencing the healer. Be the person that's helping out with the group. Don't be the guy that's just like standing there mindlessly DPSing, doing no damage because you're undergeared. Be the guy that's making the dungeon go a lot smoother. And one, you'll make some friends because people are going to notice when things are going well, and they'll want to play with you again. And that allows you to get into other groups and allows you to, like, you know, maybe that tank is going to want to push gear, you know, like maybe he's going to want to push your key up. So eventually you're getting 10s, 15s, and so on. And that's pretty much it, guys. So again, like, you're hitting 60, you're doing the initial Torghast thing, you're doing the Mythic Zero World Tour right off the bat. Skip normal dungeons, skip heroic dungeons altogether. You're only doing LFR to unlock your legendary, and then from there you're basically spamming keys for Valor and using that Valor to upgrade choice pieces. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully everybody in my stream and who follows me here on YouTube gets KSM really soon. Hopefully you guys get AOTC really soon. If you guys are struggling with that, let me know. Twitch.tv/NoxPlaysGames. I will be around. I can help you out. We had one guy, Unholy, shout out to him, who's big supporter of the stream. He went from barely being able to do heroic to like now he's like 4 out of 10 mythic, and he's like gotten into a guild and he's doing really well. So we're just trying to build that positive community together. So hopefully you guys can check that out, and I will see you guys in the next one.